Hello everybody, welcome to Awesome Rusty Buckets. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and drop a like on this video. The NBA is back. If I have something on my face, I just ate and I just realized that I didn't check that before recording a video, but I look fine, I think. So yeah, Nets versus Bucks, opening game of the season. The NBA is finally back, which is fantastic for me. So let's talk about this game. As I mentioned at the start of the Suns video, I was going to do a post-game recap for each of these games. So Nets versus Bucks. The Bucks absolutely mollywopped the Nets. There were certainly moments in this game where it felt like the Nets had a chance of making a comeback, and even they got to like within 5 points or something like that after the Bucks had gotten to a double-digit lead in the first quarter. But for the most part, it felt like the Bucks had control of this game, and any time that the control got away from them, the Bucks started to get right back on top of things. There was a couple of instances where the Nets got it within like 7 points, and then the Bucks were like, nah, fuck that. One thing in particular that stood out in this game was, and as a part of that, nah, fuck that, where we got this, Giannis just kind of flipped on his switch and was just like, oh yeah, I'm the most dominant player in the league. Like, for his overall field goal percentage for this game was not amazing. He's 11 for 25, which for Giannis is not particularly good. But he just was taking a lot of like mid-range pull-ups and stuff like that. He made one of them, but his mid-range shots and stuff like that, they weren't really dropping. A couple of threes that weren't really dropping. So we'll stay tuned on the new jump shot and how much that actually ends up working out. But he was just kind of trying shit and like testing the waters to see what he could do. And then he was like, okay, I'm gonna actually like try now. And as soon as he did that, it was so many instances of him just getting to the basket easily. There was one Euro step that he did that I was like, if any other player did this, I would be flipping out, but it's Giannis, so I'm just like, yep, that's something Giannis does. Another thing that really stood out with him in this game was the playmaking. He finished with 7 assists. He probably had like 6 shots that he set up that did not end up being assists because his teammates just didn't make the shots, but there were so many open threes off of his drives. Pat Connaughton ended up finishing a lot of those plays. Jordan Nwora, who I made a video on who the breakout player will be for each NBA team. Jordan is who I said for the Bucks. 15 points, 6 for 13 from the field, 3 for 6 from outside. He had a really nice like end of buzzer floater that he did off of the dribble. It was hitting his 3-pointers, which is probably the biggest part of his game. So yeah, just an absolutely amazing game from Jordan, and a few of those 3-pointers, 1 or 2 of them, was assisted by Giannis. And Grayson Allen as well. He ended up going 3 for 10 from outside, but he did have plenty of opportunities as a shooter. Like, if he hits one more, he's shooting 40%, so whatever. But he did get a lot of open threes that he didn't end up dropping. But regardless, Giannis was just setting everybody up. Chris Middleton played good. Weirdly, the Nets had Nick Claxton as his matchup at the start of the game, and, you know, he took advantage of that a little bit at the start, and then he kind of just tapered off. But, yeah, other than that, Jrue Holiday got injured. He was playing really well before he got injured, especially I think he played most of his points came in the first quarter, but he got injured in the second quarter and proceeded to not play the rest of the game. Talking about the Nets side of things, as for why they lost this game, their defensive communication was awful. There were multiple instances where it just didn't seem like they knew where to be, and it wasn't even a matter of like, oh yeah, this guy's just incompetent and doesn't know what he's doing. It's just like no one was on the same page on these particular plays, and that resulted in a lot of easy opportunities for the Bucks. Kevin Durant, it didn't feel like he had a great game. If you actually look at the box score, he had a pretty standardly good Kevin Durant game. He had 32 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, good efficiency, not outstanding efficiency, but not bad for sure. But I didn't really, this is a weird thing to criticize because like, you don't want to, it's not like a real criticism, but like, he didn't really feel like he was doing that much, even though in the box score it would indicate that he was. And it's hard to knock someone for that. Yeah, I don't know. James Harden, not the best. He shot 37% from the field. I think there was 1 or 2 plays where he tried to do the foul bait thing and it did not work out for him. The playmaking was fantastic, but for James Harden, with Kyrie Irving not playing, scoring 20 points in 31 minutes is kind of not the best for him. They also went with the Nick Claxton at center spot, which I agreed with, but they went with Blake Griffin playing power forward, which I did not agree with, and they were playing Kevin Durant at the 3. You should really either play Patty Mills in that lineup or like Paul Millsap maybe, but like I really think their best lineup with, obviously Kyrie Irving not playing and everybody healthy, it would probably be Patty Mills at point, James Harden at the 2, or if you want to list them at the different positions, doesn't really matter. Patty Mills was fantastic in this game. In fact, the only offensive bright spot outside of Kevin Durant. He finished with a plus-minus of 7. Meanwhile, James Harden and Kevin Durant had a minus 20. Javon Carter had a minus 29, which is wild for just 19 minutes. But Patty Mills, 21 points. He's 7 for 11 from the field overall. Missed a couple of pull-up mid-range shots. But 7 for 7 from outside. That guy was absolutely scorching. And these were not all, like, easy attempts. They were mostly catch and shoots. But, like, they were, like, quick on-the-fly snap decisions to shoot the ball with defenders closing out. And it was just bottoms every time. So I think I'd rather than Blake Griffin being in that starting lineup, I'd rather have Patty Mills. I know it makes you smaller, but, like, I don't know. I just rather have the shooting out there. Blake Griffin's 3 ball is not bad, but it's not good really either. Outside of that, LaMarcus Aldridge did not do fuck all in this game. And like, if you're not going to score at all, then like, what are you really bringing to the table? He fouled Chris Middleton on a 3-pointer. That's the defensive versatility that he brings to the Nets, as he said back when he originally signed with them. And really no bench production whatsoever from the team outside of Patty Mills. Patty had 21, and then the rest of the bench had a combined 4 points. So not the best in the world. As for like any indicator that this could mean for the Bucks-Nets matchup, I mean, I will say that the Nets did not look like a team in this one, while the Bucks definitely did. The Bucks also had a lot of energy on their side. Like, it was, again, this is something that's hard to be that like analytical about because it's just a feeling you get watching the game. But the Bucks were, making the energy plays and stuff like that. And anytime a good thing happened, they were celebrating like crazy. It just felt like they were a team and the Nets really weren't. And I'm not going to read into that too much based on one game, but offensively they were a little out of sync, and then defensively they were very much out of sync. So yeah, hopefully that's something that's hammered out and it's not really a big deal. I don't expect it to be, but it is what happened in this game. So that is pretty much my thoughts on this game. I do want to add one little note here on the end that this dude, Sandro Mamu Kalashvi. Maybe that's the full pronunciation. It's probably wrong though. The guy looks just like me, and I'm really praying that he doesn't end up being a household name, because I don't need another guy that people say that I look like. Like, I already got Zubats. That's enough for me. Anyways, that was my thoughts on this game for the most part. I feel like there's something that I'm forgetting to mention that I just didn't say. That's what happens when you forget to mention something. This is bothering me. What did I forget? There's something that I made note of in my head, and I don't remember it. Oh well, that sucks. Maybe I'll think about it for the next video. Goodbye.